Hello everybody, welcome to this playthrough for Rookie Division. Qualifying round win here for the City Outskirt Tournament in Golf Clash the game. Make sure that you do hit the thumbs up button. Also subscribe to the channel and turn on the notifications. For those of you that do want to take another step in improving your game, you scan the QR code here on the screen, or you go to patreon.com/golfclashtommy through the link that is in the description down below. There you can find tournament guide for Pro, Expert and Master, and also tour guides, and you can start as low as $2.50. So subscribe now and get part of a massive community and improve your game even more. Follow the info box on the right hand side to get the club distance adjustment, elevation adjustment, also a ball and club type I suggest you to play with. Have in mind that those are all suggestions and you don't have to follow it if you don't want to, but there's always a plan behind it. So let's go to hole number 1. For hole number 1, we're going to go for green, and we're going to bounce on the fairway pad. I'm using 1 top spin and 2 right spin with my Titan ball and extra mile. Here, if you have the possibility to play with a ball with more power, that's going to be more helpful, because playing with more power will allow you to not have to go with a shaky needle when going with overpower, because you're then going to be able to push up more, and then you can remove either the overpower completely or just use a little amount. I'm using approximately 3 rings of overpower. I adjust max plus 10, and I'm aiming for the front part of the pad, because that part of the pad is way more consistent when it comes to the first bounce compared to bouncing further back. Now getting a close one, it zooms in, sure comes in a little bit hot, but the hole-in-one is definitely there if you are a little bit lucky. For hole number 2, we're gonna play an NMT with our extra mile and a katana. What does NMT mean? It means no move target. So we're not gonna touch the target until it's time to adjust the rings. Max plus 10, and even if we are adjusting into overpower, we shall not use any overpower whatsoever. 3 left spin, 1 back spin, and half a ball of left curl. Perfect ball it is, and we're looking to get to approximately 310 to 315 yards. 313 it is, and now we're gonna prepare to play with the Goliath. We're gonna play Goliath from absolute minimum distance, and here in the video I do play an elevation that's no elevation, but I would recommend here after the wrestle to actually play it minus 5% instead. That would be a little bit better and will give ourselves a better chance for a drop. Ball guideline to go just through the hole here, and we make the adjustment, which is, once again, I'm playing min, no elevation, but we should be changing to min minus 5% elevation instead. You will notice a perfect ball here will hit the rough and it will roll up, and you will never be in any danger in terms of missing out on the birdie. But obviously on a short par 4 like this, we do want to get ourselves an eagle. On hole number 3, another NMT. We are going to go with 3 right spin and no top spin or back spin. And we're doing extra mile and a katana ball. Adjust is max plus 10, and then we're gonna play with half a ball of right curl. Perfect ball it is, and we're gonna bounce on the fairway, and we're gonna bounce down the fairway, focusing on getting up into long iron range. There we go, 326 yards, that's great. Now for the second shot, we're going to play with our Goliath. Now the difficult part is obviously, as always, trying to judge what club that distance you're in. You're gonna be somewhere between minimum and minimum and maximum distance. So what I do here in the video is that I'm playing this one slightly less than medium distance, which in the end happens to be not accurate. As I do miss just on the right hand side. So from this range we should have been playing this one just completely medium distance instead. Adjustment is made, and then hit perfect. You can see that I used the top of the yellow ring to be just by the rough line, and applied spin, so the ball guideline was still short of pin, because the important part to have in mind is that the Goliath does not have a full developed ball guideline, and then that needs to be compensated for by leaving short, otherwise we will come in too hot. Just burning the right edge, but we know what to do for the next time to give ourselves a even better chance for an eagle. Hole number 4 is the toughest one so far if we are looking back at hole 1, 2 and 3. We're going to play on the left side here, trying to lay up on the top of top of the fairway island. We're going to use 3 right spin, 2 top spin. I'm playing here with a kingmaker, mainly as I would like to have the side spin on the second shot and also the power. Adjust max +5. Center the ball and hit perfect. And we're gonna find ourselves very nicely on that pad. I'm not gonna sit here and say that this is going to be without any risk. Obviously, with bad grades, you may roll into the rough or on either side, but single grades and also a perfect ball shall always be super safe. On the second shot now, we're gonna play with our sniper. Here I do have sniper level 7, which is the first time we do have a good ball guideline with the sniper, but we don't really have much power. So what I'm trying to do is to use right spin and try to play into that slight sticky spot that we do have there on the green. This is a difficult shot, especially as there are a lot of bumps on the green, and it's always going to be difficult to be absolutely spot on with a shot like this, because it's not just that we have to adjust the correct amount of rings, we need to do with the correct pull angle, we need to have the wind angle in a correct way as well. So there's a lot of things that's gonna be happening on a shot like this, but with playing max +20 you will always be around the hole and give yourself a chance to drop this tough par 4 here from distance. Bouncing over and up towards the green, perfect speed, but are just left of the hole. On hole number 5 here, I would strongly recommend to play with a ball that has as much power as possible. Berserker ball is the one for me, because I know I would be having a good chance getting at least one back from the upcoming golden shot. So I'm using 4.5 bar topspin and putting my target at the center of the fairway, maximum distance +10, and then I will apply max overpower with, I mean, it's a shaky needle, but you can hit great left and great right and still be up by the green. For those of you that do have a possibility to play with more topspin, 6 bars of topspin, maybe 7 bars of topspin, use all the topspin and reduce the overpower slightly, then it will be easier to hit perfect, but you will also see yourself getting onto the green. I'm gonna show the wedge, even though it's a very short one. I would recommend to pack a wedge that has a good ball guideline, and the reason for that is that otherwise it becomes much more difficult and it becomes a lot of guesswork to aim correctly with the ball guideline. So you can see here now I'm basically just eyeballing, as I don't really have a ball guideline to follow, and that's never something that is good to bring consistency with a wedge. So now, sure, I'm dropping it, but at the same time, you know, it didn't feel good. It didn't feel confident at all when not having the ball guideline. On hole number 6 here is another send it, and we're gonna use the big topper. This is a little bit trickier than the one that we had on hole number 5, but when it is a tailwind here, I'm always looking to send it over the right hand side, as in a worst case scenario I will be in the rough very close to green, and that compared to having to lay up short, then I'd rather take a short iron close to green than I would be taking a rough iron by the green. That's at least my stance with this here. So all the top spin, and a little bit of left spin. I try to hit perfect. Now I'm lucky hitting a poor great left, but you can see that I'm still rolling out, ending up playing a wedge. And now, as for those of you that watched hole number 5, notice that I had the wrong wedge packed in because I had a poor ball guideline. Here you can see how easy it becomes while having a better ball guideline with the Firefly level 5. Now I totally understand that not all of you watching here have a wedge that is in a decent level, but if you have, always ensure pack that one. So what did we learn about the wedges for hole 5 and 6? Always pack the one that has the best possible ball guideline. On hole number 7, the drive, we are going to adjust max plus 10 P3, and once we have done that, we're going to push up to max. And the reason we want to do that is because we do not have that much topspin, so we're just gonna use the 4.5 bar and 1 right, 4.5 bar topspin and 1 right. Then using approximately 3 rings of overpower, as we do want to just carry over and have a nice little rollout here on the other side of the fairway. Bounces on the fairway over the rough, and we land nicely on the fairway like this. Now, for the second shot, we're gonna try and attempt to attack the pin from the left side of the green, and this shot may need some slight tweaks here. I would say that the landing position is what you would need to work with a little bit to try to give yourself a little bit of a better spot. But I'm using all the left spin that I can together with some backspin to try to get the ball guideline to go up the hill and fall down into the hole. Now with the adjustment here, now it's a 10% elevation true club distance, and I happen to end up aiming just short of the hole, which in the end was due to me struggling with time. So obviously give yourself time, get the spins correct so you have the ball guideline to hole, and with a perfect ball here is gonna give yourself a good chance for a drop. But now, as I obviously aimed short of hole, the ball will fall short of the hole as well. On hole 8, the drive, here I'm using a power 3 ball, utilizing the tailwind, aiming left of the light pole and trying to just bounce my ball up safely on the fairway. In the end, I ending up using 4 topspin and 2 right spin, and adjustment is max plus 10 P3. You can obviously play with a different ball here, such as a P2 or P1 ball, but the good part with using a P3 ball is that you don't have to go with any overpower if using that type of ball. Perfect it is, and we're going to bounce on the fairway over the other fairway to get ourselves a nice position on the second shot. Yardage is 350. Second shot, we're looking at that one as well. Now I'm using the backbone. This shot is actually very good in terms of you can still have a decent ball guideline even with a worse clubs. So you don't really have to play with Grizzly 7 or 7 plus or B52 7 plus to have a good look at this hole. The only difference that I would do here though, if you compare a backbone 8 and like a Grizzly 7 plus that have 4.5 ball guideline, is to aim the ball guideline slightly short. True club distance minus 10% elevation, P3 numbers. A perfect ball here will have a very good chance for a drop. Bounces on the fairway and it comes up and it rolls dead center for a lovely eagle here on hole number 8. Hole number 9, here we're going to play on this little fairway pad there. It looks scarier than what it is. So what I'm doing is that I will in the end up with playing with half a bar of backspin and 2 right spins. So I was a little bit undecided here for a bit what I would actually going to play, because I do want to have enough distance so I can get past the tree on the left, but I don't want to have too much and roll into the rough or in the sand like off that you can see there in front of the fairway, or like after the fairway, sorry for my English. So I'm setting the spins, making an adjustment that is max plus 10, and then I will be applying some overpower here, which is going to be approximately 2 rings. You can see that the needle is super slow, which you get when you which you are getting when you're not at max line. Then you get a much slower needle, and it rolls lovely, and we're getting ourselves a short wedge to pin. So the second shot here, we're playing with the wedge that gives us the best ball guideline. For those that have been watching the complete playthrough, would have hear me say on hole 5 and hole 6, where we play wedges, how important it is to play with a wedge that you have a good ball guideline. So me playing with a skewer here is not really the best decision I've done in my life. In the end, I ending up dropping it, but choose the wedge that gives you the best possible ball guideline, and that, because that will help you immensely in trying to get yourself a safe and smooth way of locking in the eagle. You don't have to play with a kingmaker if you don't want to, because it's not really needed. The 3 right spin is not really needed, the wind resistance, but obviously the P3 is going to be super helpful, as otherwise it's very easy to fall short on drive. Thank you so much, everybody, for watching this playthrough for Rookie Division. Qualifying round win, but you can obviously use this playthrough for the remainder of the tournament, because the win could be fairly similar in the opening and the weekend round as well, and at least you have some words from me that will help you along the way. Make sure to get the best guides on the market on patreon.com/golf/Tommy. We do offer pro, expert and master guides together with tour guides for tour 7 up to tour 13. Scan the QR code there on the screen, or go through the link that is pasted in the comment section down below, patreon.com/golf/Tommy.